Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to discuss about discriminative language model. So before getting started with this video, if you are new to my channel, then please do subscribe. And if you are already a subscriber, then please do watch whole video and hit the like button. So now let's get started. Yeah, before discussing all the points about discriminative language model, first, you have to know what is meant by discriminative. I think you all may have heard about this word discrimination in your childhood, right? When you take your social studies, no, you will find this word, right? So, what is mean by discrimination? Discrimination is nothing but you are showing differences between two things. Either it can be people or anything. You are showing differences. That means take a person A and take a person B. You are treating him differently and you are treating him differently. You are not treating them equally, even though they are in the same position. So, this is what is meant by discrimination. But why a language model needs this kind of discrimination? I mean, why it has to differentiate between two things? Why it is needed? So, first, let's understand what is the main aim of language model. So, the main aim of language model is to predict the sentences, right? It has to predict the sentences based on the probabilities. But sometimes maybe it will predict the sentences, but you don't know whether the prediction is correct or not. I mean, the prediction is correct or not means whether we don't know whether it is generating good sentences or bad sentences. Okay? Good sentences or bad sentences, you can consider it is grammatically correct or not, we don't know. So, that is where this discriminative language model will play a major role. What this discriminative language model will do is it will not only predict the sentences, but it also distinguish between the good and bad sentence. It will distinguish between the good and bad sentence and it will pick the good sentence at the last. So, what it is doing here? It is predicting the most accurate sentence. So, I think you got some idea what is mean by discriminative language model. Let's see one example, just one real time example. Let's see one example how it actually does this. Um, let's say that you have given these two sentences to the model. That is discriminative language model. So the first sentence is she go to school every day and the second sentence is she goes to school every day. So as human beings we know English language. So we are good at grammar rules, all those things. We know all those things, right? So as humans after reading these two sentences we say that second sentence is the correct sentence. I mean, it is more accurate one. So, what happens when you give these two sentences to the discriminative language model is it will calculate the probabilities on several features. Features in the sense it can consider the grammatical rules and many more features are there. I am telling grammatical rules. So the model will consider the grammatical rules of these two sentences. After considering, it will calculate the probability of these two sentences. Obviously, these first sentence is not grammatically correct, right? So it will be getting the less probability when you compare with the second sentence. Obviously, the second sentence will be having more probability. So at last, what this discriminative model will tell is whatever the sentence one you have given is wrong and the sentence two is correct. So what is actually happening here is it is differentiating between these two sentences, right? It is differentiating. How it is differentiating? By evaluating probabilities. By evaluating the probabilities, it is going to differentiate between the two sentences. So that is why it is known as discriminative language model. Okay, now let's see some more points about this discriminative language model. Um, okay, the first sentence. Instead of just generating sentences based on probabilities, like standard n-gram models do, discriminative language models are trained to distinguish between good and bad sentences. As I mentioned earlier, it is not only going to generate the sentences based on the probabilities, but it is also going to distinguish between good and bad sentences. How it is going to distinguish between these good and bad sentences based on the probabilities? What it will do is it will assign higher probabilities to the good sentence. Good sentence in the sense which is having good grammar, which is the sentence which is following grammatical rules and so on, it is considered as good sentence and it is given higher probability. And the sentence which is a bad sentence, that is given lower probability. And I have said that these probabilities are given based on different features. Like, what are those features? So those features are n-gram counts, word combinations, grammar patterns, and other linguistic features. So, based on these features only, this language model is going to evaluate the sentences. But how exactly it is done? How the evaluation process happens? So, how it happens is that is discussed in this fourth point. How it actually happens is I've given this four features right here: n-gram counts, word combinations, and grammatical rules, etc. Right? So, it will give some weights to these features. What it will do is it will give some weights to features, and then the language model will undergo training process. During this training process, what the language model will do is it will adjust these weights. Why it has to adjust the weights? See, for the first time, when the language model is trained for the first time, it is not giving you the expected results. If it is not giving you the expected results, then again it has to undergo the training process. But while it is undergoing the training process for the second time, it has to adjust these weights of the features. It has to adjust these weights. So these process will repeated. These processes repeated until you get the expected result. So these processes repeated over several number of times until you get the expected result. If you get the good result, then it is fine. If you get the bad result, then again it will undergo the training process. It will adjust the weights and then you will get the result. At last, you will be getting the accurate results. It will generate you the accurate sentences. So that is how the model is going to work. But where we are going to use these kind of language models? Think where you need accurate results. See, when you are recognizing, I mean, during speech recognition and during translation, I mean, in Google Translate. See, if you have a human translator, let's say you have a human translator. If that translator does any mistakes in translating you the sentence, you will understand a different meaning there, right? At last, you will end up understanding different meaning, which is wrong. Based on this meaning, you will end up taking wrong decisions, maybe. The same goes with Google Translator. If this Google Translator is not giving you the accurate results, then why to use this Google Translator, right? So the main aim of using this Google Translator is it will help us to understand better and it will give you the accurate results. Okay, so I think these are the points regarding the discriminative language model. And in the next video, we will be discussing about the other language models. Until then, thank you for watching till end. And if you really like my content, then please do subscribe. And also write some comments if I need to improve somewhere. So that will give me the boost to create more content like this. Thank you. Thank you for watching.